We welcome you in on this beautiful Friday night for high school football here on the KSL Sports Rewind. We're here in Layton High School where the 2-2 Layton take on the 4-0 American Cavemen. I'm Brad Searle. Pleased to be joined with Tucker Bass on the call today. And Tucker, let's dive right in to these two teams. Layton Lancers coming off a loss last week. Let's start with the home team. Layton coming off a loss last week against the Copper Hill Grizzlies. What do they got to do to get back in that win column?
Yeah, and obviously the Copper Hills Grizzlies are a much improved ball club this season, so no surprise that it was a close matchup. I think it was only a two-point loss for the Lancers. So tonight, really, they just need to be a little bit more consistent. They need to limit the turnovers. And I was talking to Coach before the game. He said one of the biggest things is they need to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage. They know that's going to be something very difficult tonight as they face one of the more physical teams in 6A in American Fork. So we'll see if they're able to kind of hold their own on that line of scrimmage and see if maybe they can make something happen here on the first possession of the game.
Yeah, and right here in American Fork, go right into them, right? Great start to the season, 4-0. They're coming in all the way from down the south. Who are you looking for tonight for the Cavemen?
You know, obviously there's quite a few guys. They're going to be doing a two-quarterback substitution situation going on again. I'm not sure how much I love that from their coaches. I think Manuela did a fantastic job to really command the offense and get scores early on in that first half. Childs did a good job as well. They just had a major, impact in terms of the turnover game, and so that's what got the Fremont team back into that ball game.
Yeah, and we'll see the Layton Lancers on their first offensive possession led by their senior quarterback, Lincoln Wilcox. He hands right off up the middle, and J.P. Garlick is brought down for about nothing on that play.
Yeah, obviously not much there. Great pressure inside by that defensive line. They're one of the best D lines in the entire state. What I'd like to see here, maybe on the next few plays, is maybe a little bit of misdirection. Get their quarterback involved in the run game. He's one of the best dual threats probably in the state, and we'll see if he's going to be able to use his legs here tonight.
And we've got Wilcox in the shotgun. He surveys. He throws that ball. Oh, and in and out of the hands of number 29, Lincoln Miller. Lancers got a break there.
Yeah, for sure. Lincoln Miller, great coverage. Able to get back into his spot, break on the ball, nearly get an interception. And, he had a lot of green grass if he would have been able to catch that. Possibly could have taken that into the end zone. So really what I want to see from Wilcox is to get that ball out a little bit quicker, use that anticipation. As soon as his receiver breaks on that route, that ball needs to be really out before that happens.
We've got 3rd down and 10. He's got a guy right up the middle.
Completion.
For a first down.
Ball taken up to the 34-yard line, resulting in a Lancer.
Looks like that's Nathan Meekum. And talking to Coach today, I asked him about Meekum and how much and how important he is into the offense, and he said he's vital to get him going early.
Yeah, he does a great job at sitting into the zone defense, finding a spot to where his quarterback's able to find him to pick up that yardage. A great job, obviously 3rd and long, able to pick up the first down. We'll see if they can continue this drive.
Looks like we've got JP to the left side. Short little out pass to Mason Conduff. Pushed out of bounds. Looks like that might move the chains again for him. First down, Layton Lancers.
Yeah, nice job by Wilcox there. He was able to get the ball out very quickly, out to the sideline. A lot of green grass for Mason Conduff, and he's able to turn that upfield get a first down. And this offense is looking pretty good here early on. A lot of time for the quarterback to be able to throw the ball. So nice job by the offensive line.
I am kind of surprised that he's had so much time so far. Yeah, they're to survey in that pocket. He hands off to Hurst. He sweeps up to the left side.
Lancers run.
Looks like Gavin Hurst is going to pick up about 5 on that carry.
Yeah, Hurst, a nice job, able to find a crease to the outside. They're going to go to a hurry-up offense here, but a nice job to pick up, 4 yards on first down to get ahead of the chains.
Hands right back to Hurst, and that American Fork defense puts a stop right away. Looks like they might give him a half a yard with progression on that.
Yeah, nice job by Mitt Palmer, senior, able to come up, fill that A gap, and really not allow any movement. And then overall, a really good job by the defensive front there to get a push and make it a third and manageable for the Lancers. But this is exactly where you want to be. This is where American Fork has been extremely successful to this point of the season.
Yeah, and talking to Coach, this is where they kind of struggled in their game against Box Elder. Like they could move the ball up the field, but they were just having a hard time completing it. And down goes Wilcox. That's number 97.
That's Manitou Fano. Yeah, Fano, one of their best interior rushers. Just a great job. His quickness, you look at him, he's a very big guy. You wouldn't expect somebody like that to have the speed to be able to get into the backfield and make a play like that. So, a great job forcing 4th and long and forcing a punt here for the Lancers.
Got DeWitt back to punt this ball for the Layton Lancers, and Damian Wilkinson on the Cavemen to receive. That ball is up.
And DeWitt's punt.
And it will roll out of bounds. And then we've got some laundry out on the field. Let's see what that call is. Our officials for tonight's game is referee Kelly Allred, umpire Austin Slaughter, line judge Kirk Beasley, linesman Steve Dallin, back judge Jared Wilson. We say thank you for your time.
Yeah, I was able to touch base with them before the game as well. They said there's nothing they're particularly looking for to call tonight. Really, they know the style of both of these ball clubs, so they know where to kind of look for. In terms of the Lancers, they're more of a running team, right? They're going to be, kind of getting into it at the line of the scrimmage, so they're going to be looking for more of the holding calls is what they told me. And then in terms of American Fork, they obviously like to get the ball downfield, so they're going to be looking at the defensive backs of the Lancers to see if maybe there's a little bit of contact there. And, we'll see what American Fork's able to do here on their first possession.
Yeah, and that was a personal foul, 15-yard penalty on the Caveman. And it looks like Capona Manuela in for the first couple of series. You talked about that dual quarterback offense for American Fork, and I talked to Coach Thomas, and I said, how do you prepare for that? And he says, it was really tough this week. Going up against 2 different quarterbacks, 2 different style of quarterbacks was really challenging for the Lancers.
Yeah, and he told me that might change a little bit later on. Obviously, he's trying to get 2 guys some opportunities, especially before, region play.
Brooks in motion, short little out pass to Richards. Richards breaks free, gets a great gain. First down, Caveman.
Richards is one of the best tight ends in the state. He has great hands. He's able to block as well when he needs to, and that's one of the biggest reasons why this American Fork offense and passing attack is so successful.
We've got a handoff to Afu, and Afu gets stopped by the Layton defense. That's number 25, Luke Byers. And Tucker, we're going to be calling his name all night long tonight.
Yeah, Byers obviously the leading tackler for this team, 55 total tackles on the season. 38 assisted and 17 solo tackles here through 4 games. So he's always flying around the football, just pretty much has a nose for it.
Got Capono in the backfield. He runs Harrison. Pass up and great coverage by number 7, J.P. Garlick for the Layton Lancers.
Yeah, J.P. Garlick did a good job there. Could have been called for a face guarding penalty there, so he has to be a little bit more careful. If possible, at some point, he's going to need to be able to turn around and pinpoint where that ball is coming from so that he doesn't get called for a pass interference. Overall, great defense, setting up a very long 3rd and 9 here for the American Fork Cavemen.
And with the Cavemen, they've got a special little receiver here on the near side, Cash Taisi. Look to him and look to call his name a lot tonight. Manuela back to throw.
There he is.
He's got Cash right up middle. Great field tackle.
Cash lives up to his name. You see it here and there. He's a very small guy in stature, right? You look at him, you don't expect him to be able to high point balls like he does. I mean, I saw a catch against Farmington. That was a great throw from Manuela all the way to the opposite side of the end zone into the back corner. He's able to high point that, come down with it in the end zone for a touchdown. He's obviously one of the best wide receivers in the state, and I believe he's only a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore. We've got Jensen in the backfield with Manuela. Manuela rolls out to the right side. He cuts up, he tucks, and he goes down and picks up about 8 yards on that carry.
Yeah, again, a dual threat quarterback right here. I think Childs is a little bit more different when we see him get his opportunity in the backfield. Manuela has a lot of speed. The fans here wanted to hold on that, but because that left defensive end turned his back, there was no real ability for the ref to be able to throw a flag there. Nice job by Manuela to make something out of nothing.
And Manuela checks over to the sideline, gets a new call. We've got 2nd down and short. Afu in the backfield, he hands off directly to him. And he drives and just powers forward. Looks like they're going to mark him just short of the 1st down.
Yeah, if I'm American Fork, I'm probably just going to line up and do the same thing, but what the Layton Lancers are doing right now is loading up the box because they know that they're really going to have to limit Prince Afu's effect on this ball game. He's one of the best running backs in the state. Usually on first hit, he doesn't go down, so we'll see if they're able to pick up this 3rd and short.
Manuela direct under center. He gives it to Afu, and Afu picks up the 1st down for the Caveman.
Yeah, nice job there by Jack Anderson, able to make this stop there for a limited gain. But, Afu able to churn his feet, get the 1st down, and keep the drive alive for American Fork, and a great push on the left side of that offensive line.
What a great resource to have in Prince Afu.
Yeah.
Afu in the backfield with Manuela. Hands off, cuts up to the right side, breaks the 1st tackle, and that Layton defense comes in for maybe a gain of about 1 yard on that.
Yeah. Great job by Cole Hegelson, I believe is how you say his last name. He did a great job at getting there to the edge and making sure that Afu wasn't able to break that to the outside for a bigger gain. So a nice job by the defensive ends, containing, being where they're supposed to be and limiting the run game from this American Fork Caveman offense.
Got 2nd and 9 for the Cavemen. Manuela's got time in the pockets, pushed out to the right side, and he takes off. Whoa, what a great burst of speed, and he's up to the sideline. Looks like they push him out around the 27-yard line.
Yeah, again, I think this is one of the biggest reasons why if I was the head coach of the American Fork Cavemen, I would leave Manuela in the game at all times. And his dual threat just changes the ball game.
He's surveyed. He's got a guy and just short hops Cash Taisi on the 1 yard line. And we've got a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the field.
That looks like it may be in the area of illegal man downfield, but I guess we'll see here what the call is. Be a little bit patient. Obviously, we want to see what Kelly Allred has to say.
It's got a hold on the Cavemen. Let's bring back the Cavemen 10 yards. Bring up about a first and about 20 yards.
First and 20.
Brad, what are you doing on a first and 20? Are you going to try to do maybe like a little screen pass here? What's your thought process?
Well, they've been real successful on just some of these short little slant passes, a little 10-yard, 7 to 8 yard passes, picking up about 10, 11 on the carry. That's what I'm looking for. Right there on the out route, that's Luke Broadbent just muscling his way up on that right side.
You know, it's not just Prince Afu from this running back core. There's a lot of guys that are able to lay the boom, make sure that they're getting extra yardage through first contact. And now they're, making it a little bit more manageable here on second down. I think one thing their head coach does a good job of saying that you don't need to get everything all on one play.
Got Broadbent in the backfield again with Kapuna. We've got a whistle out on the field. Not sure what this call is,
Might be a jersey malfunction. Maybe his helmet came off. You got to come out for one play if something like that happens. So
looks like Lincoln Peterson coming off the field.
He's one of their best defenders as well, so you'd like to see him get back out there pretty quickly.
So
looks like he's got blood on his leg, and that's why he had to come out of the game there.
2nd 12 for the Cavemen. Manuela looks, got a guy open in the middle. It's one of his big tight ends, Christian Hanshaw, as he carries a number of Lancers for a first down.
Yeah, great pocket for Manuela to sit back in there, had the time, was able to locate his guy across the middle. The Lancers play a lot of zone coverage, so if you're patient as a quarterback, you're going to be able to find your guy.
Gives a Broadbent. Broadbent maybe picks up a 2. Going back to that last play with Christian Hanshaw, what a great benefit it is for Coach Beam, having 2 tight ends, 6'5", 220 pounds and 230 pounds. That's some great height.
Yeah, there's something in the water out there in American Fork where these guys are sprouting like trees.
Man, I'd love to have that. We got Taisi and Richards on the near side. Prince Afu back in the backfield again. They hand it directly off to him. Barrels his way up for just a few yards on that carry.
Down, 3rd and goal, minimal gain on the play.
Brett, 3rd and goal here. This is where Cash Taisi is usually targeted. I wouldn't be remiss if I saw him on a little in route and then a fade to the corner. Obviously, Manuela can make that throw. We've seen it. He's in a good position right now to give himself space towards that pylon. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, he's going up against Gavin Hurst on the defensive side. Manuela surveys, cuts to the left side. He's tucking and carrying, and they bring it down.
Tackle made in the open field by Carter Hughes.
Brings up a 4th down.
Yeah, Carter Hughes, great pursuit there on the quarterback from the linebacker position. It might actually been the safety position. Yeah, free safety. Nice job being able to come up and make a play and force the American Fork Cavemen to kick a field goal here.
Got Jace Worthington out here for the Cavemen. Looks to be a 30-yard attempt. Kicks up. It is good. And the Cavemen get on the board first. What a great first offensive drive for the American Cavemen. We'll be right back here on KSL Sports Rewind.
Hi, I'm Austin Strong, CEO of Tab Bank. As a former high school athlete in the state of Utah, I recognize how big of a role high school sports can play in developing student athletes' lives, even outside of the sports they play. For me, high school sports taught me how to work as a team, how to lead through adversity, how to share success, and how to face all challenges. While I didn't become a professional athlete, it was these skills that gave me a head start in life after my high school career was over. That's why Tab Bank is proud to sponsor KSL Sports Rewind's mission to highlight and promote student athletes and the communities in which they play. As a proud Bonneville Laker, I know the importance of the role a community plays in the success of a team, and I wanted to create a banking environment that gave our customers that Friday night lights feeling of community and togetherness. Our goal is to provide you a premium banking experience that will help aid you to accomplish any goal that you have in your life. We believe that whether you are a heavy favorite or the battle-tested underdog, Tab Bank can provide you a winning game plan for any of your financial needs.
Layton High School, where the Cavemen 3, the Lancers nothing. What a great first possession for that Caveman. They just kept chipping and chipping away.
Yeah, and also you got to give a lot of credit to the Lancers defense. They did well to bend but not fully break there, right? It looked like American Fork was going to be able to come downfield and get into the end zone, but as they got into that red zone, the defense really stiffened up for the Lancers, and those are the types of possessions you need to have defensively in order to beat a team like American Fork, you know, that's coming from one of the best regions in the state.
Yeah, and we've got a touchback. We'll see the second possession for the offense for the Layton Lancers.
Yeah, and I wanted to highlight a few guys here. Obviously, Wilcox, he's done a fantastic job so far to this season. He's struggled a little bit with turnovers in terms of 6 interceptions on the season. He does have 5 touchdowns, but you look at some of his wideouts. You know, Lee, number 21, is a great asset for him on the outside.
We got Wilcox. Tucks, he goes up the left side, and smartly he goes down for a pickup, about 5 yards.
Yeah, Brad, I love that you mentioned smartly gets down. We've seen too often. You know, I was doing the Alta Hawks game just a few weeks ago, pardon me. Tucker Brown took a hit that was very unnecessary, and you know it took him out of the ball game. Luckily, they were able to beat a team like West Jordan that was a little bit overmatched, but that's something you never want to do as a quarterback. You don't want to give yourself up, possibly get yourself taken out of the ball game and hurt your club.
We've got about 2nd down and 7. Hands off to JP, and JP pushes his way up and picks up a few on that carry.
JP Garlick's run up past the 25, so it looks like the 26. And that is the end of the first quarter.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Layton High School, where the American Fork Cavemen lead the Layton Lancers 3-0. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter. Welcome back to Layton High School, where we've got 3rd and about 5 for the Lancers. Wilcox surveys under a little pressure.
Great pocket presence there. He was able to kind of, you know, make his way forward. He might have been able to pick that up with his feet. Tried to get Garlick involved in the receiving game. Brought up 4th down. But you know, Brett, I wanted to take a look around the league so far as we are getting ready for this punt. Only a few games have been scored in. Granger up 6-0 on Taylorsville. Hillcrest up 7-6 on the Hunter Wolverines. West has got a 14-point lead on Kearns. Fremont up 14-0, a team that just lost to American Fork last week. Orem Tigers have a 7-0 lead. As they got to get away from that one.
They do got to get away. DeWitt puts that ball. Wilkinson makes a great decision just to let that ball go. It'll be 1st down, and it looks like on the 42-yard line.
Yeah, we'll see here, obviously, 3-0, Brad. We'll see if there's an ability for this American Fork offense to get into the end zone here. Yeah, again, that Farmington game, 24-22 last week. And Farmington looking extremely well tonight. I think, their momentum in that second half almost coming back to beat the Cavemen in that second half has really helped propel them this evening. But we'll see if, American Fork is able to kind of get over the hump that they suffered there in the second half.
Yeah, Manuela, short little out pass to Prince, in and out of his hands. And I did talk to Coach Beam about that. I just said, Coach, you dominated that first half against Farmington last week. What was the big change in that second half? And he says it was just simply turnovers. We just kept turning over the ball and just giving them an opportunity. Of course, they had that pick six. The Farmington went back, and he said it was just such a momentum. He says, we've got to play smart tonight. We've got to play safe with that ball.
Yeah.
2nd and 10 for the Cavemen. Manuela drops. He surveys under pressure. He's got Byers coming up on him. He gets up to the right side and smartly goes out of bounds about the 49-yard line.
They're going to give him enough for a first down there. Again, a lot of these fans are hollering for a hold, but when a defender turns his back and there's really no jersey grab, there's not much there for the ref to do for a holding call, right? Great job by Manuela to escape the pressure, get outside. I didn't know he was this fast. The speed he had to be able to get downfield and pick up that first down is something extremely impressive from the quarterback position.
It just gives a coach just a great option. A great option, puts a lot of pressure on that defense. Prince cuts up to the right side for a pickup of about 4 yards.
Yeah, Prince Afu's kind of been a non-factor so far in this ball game. Really all the rushing yards are coming from Manuela, and maybe it's just because he's just trying to make a play, but I think we really need to start to see Afu. I don't know if he's feeling off a little bit. He just went off the field here. I think he needs to really get his legs going and get a little bit of that confidence back.
We've got Matt and Jensen now in the backfield with Manuela. We've got Taisi to the near side. And Mason Brooks to the outside. He looks. He's got his big tight end. Hanshaw again. Makes a great catch for another Caveman first down. Tucker, I think it's such a great advantage to have that height. I love when the tight ends get used into the offensive schemes.
Well, we're mentioning height here a lot, but to have height and speed as a tight end, a lot of the times these guys, if they make it to the second level, are actually going to be wide receivers. They're not huge in stature, but the fact that they're able to get quickly out of their breaks and give their quarterback some place to go with the football is huge for this offense.
Capona keeps, and he's under a lot of pressure, and he is going down. And a flag comes on, maybe a little bit too much from the Layton Lancers on that play. Tucker, that was great defense. I think that was number 81, Harrison Swain, who brought down Capono.
Yeah, and really it was just a little bit too much after the whistle. They may wave that off, but I highly doubt it. I think they're just trying to make a play. It's an effort mistake, but it's something you really don't want to see as a head coach, because you're giving them free yardage. That's another first down. Now they're going to be inside or at least near the red zone. Yeah, it looks like they're right at the edge of the red zone, which is somewhere they've been extremely efficient so far this year.
Yeah, penalties can add up against a team. Coach Jensen Coach Thomas trying to get an explanation on the sideline from that. And we play on. 2 backs in the backfield with Capona.
There he is.
touchdown, Caveman.
Well, no signal yet, but I believe it is a touchdown there.
That's what I was waiting on that call. I haven't seen that.
The sideline judge didn't decide to raise his hands there, Brad.
Raise his hands. That is a touchdown, and that looked like number 85, Ty Homestead.
That was actually Cash Taisi, my friend.
Was it?
Yeah. Cash Taisi for the touchdown in that corner. Again, their go-to guy on the outside, on the edge.
The rest is blowing this dead. Cash Taisi just has that great ability to create separation. And we do find him in the end of that end zone, the last 5 yards, and usually the defensive players 2, 3, 4 yards away from him.
Well, not only that, but something that's taught really at higher levels of football is having late hands. That's something Cash Taisi does really well. He's not, telegraphing that the ball's coming, right? So he's going, he's looking back, but right at that last second, he's bringing it up so that defender doesn't have an opportunity to knock the ball away.
And Jace Worthington out for the PAT. Snap's good. Kick is up. And it is good.
Extra point attempt is good.
We have the American Fork Cavemen leading 10-0 over the Layton Lancers. And we will be right back after this break. We've got first down on, looks like the 26-yard line for the Lancers.
Garlic finds some space on the left.
Get a great job by the left side of that offensive line. Able in that zone blocking scheme to create some space for Garlic to get upfield, make it an extremely short second down. I thought he picked up the first down, but again, a great job. I think they need to use that left side of that offensive line a little bit more throughout the rest of this evening.
Yeah, and I, in watching the film against Farmington last week, that is where Farmington was very successful, was up on that left side of the American Fork defense. Wilcox back, he hands off. Oh, and JP breaks 1, 2, and 3 tackles to pick up a first down and a lot more.
Yeah, and a tackle by Lincoln Miller there to really save a lot bigger play.
He goes right back to Garlic on the Hurricanes offense. He cuts out to the right side, and that American Fork defense is right there waiting for him.
Yeah, nice job by the linebacker, Madden Jensen, to be able to get in the backfield, tackle him for a loss. He really shot through the B gap there. I don't know if you noticed that, but as soon as he saw a sliver in that offensive line, he was there to make the play. Great job from this American Fork linebacking team to get upfield and make sure there's no gain there.
Wilcox sends Condiff in motion. Looks.
Patient, obviously the right side of the line broke down a little bit. He was able to escape here to his left side. Wasn't afraid to keep his head up downfield. Found his guy, able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, talking to Coach Thomas Bohr, he's telling me that he runs a 10.5-100 in track. Took 3rd place last year in state in the 100-meter. So Gavin Hurst has got some wills out there on the field.
Makes you wonder why they haven't been able to get him involved a little bit more in the offense so far to this point.
Boy, I'd be setting him on the outside and just letting him take off, kind of like what Cash Taisi does on the other side of the field. Brings up about 2nd down and 9 for the Lancers. Looks like Wilcox will be in an empty set in the backfield. Brings Condiff in motion to the near side. And he rolls out to the right side and just short of his intended receiver, Nathan Minkum. And Tucker, Layton's got to get Nathan Minkum involved in this offense. They've got to get him some touches and get that momentum and confidence into that young man.
Yeah, I think American Fork is doing a good job at disguising their coverage here and there. Most of it's been zone coverage. However, it's just taking a little bit longer for their guys to find those open areas. They did a good job in the first drive, but since then, American Fork's, defensive backs have done a good job at making sure they're not allowing a lot of space for those wide receivers to find any openings.
Lincoln Wilcox set up with JP to his right. He surveys, got some times, and he throws this ball up. It almost intercepted by the AF defender down there. That was number 5, Noah Bain.
Yeah, Noah did a good job. As a safety, the biggest thing you're taught is to not let anybody pass you. Nobody got past him there. He was there possibly to make a play on the ball. That was kind of a hope and a prayer from Wilcox from what I saw. I don't think he was really looking at anybody. I think he needs to do a better job. He didn't need that much yardage. He had a couple guys that were maybe a little bit closer that could have gotten that first down, and he needs to not pick his wide receiver before the play starts.
Yeah, DeWitt punts this ball, and it goes back into the end zone for a touchback. And to your earlier point, Tucker, right? He's got to get that ball out just a little bit quicker. He had a couple of guys about 10 and 15 yards out. If he was looking, he might have had that opportunity to pass that ball.
Well, not only that, but he had the opportunity to maybe get them in field goal range and at least get some points on the board. It's 6:43 left in the second quarter. You want to try to make sure that you're not getting too far away, from where American Fork is on the scoreboard, right?
And it looks like they keep Capona in as the quarterback. That's a nice catch from number 81, Mason Brooks. Yeah. Coach mentioned earlier before the game, David Dean is out for this game, and he mentioned Mason Brooks and Ty Homestead would get a little bit more action on that offensive side today.
Yeah, and obviously missing Dean is huge. He's one of their leading wide receivers. But what I loved on that throw from Manuela is the velocity. He was on point with that throw across the middle to his cutter, and he was able to continue running with that football and get yards after catch.
Afu with the carry, and the Layton defense is right there to stop him.
Stop him at the line.
I've watched a lot of film on the American Fork Cavemen the last 3-4 weeks, and I think this is the first time that I've seen them stick with one quarterback in Capona Manuela. Let's see if they still throw Nate Childs into the action.
Yeah, Coach did tell me Childs would play at some point. I don't know if he's doing a half and half type of thing. That's what he did last week. And I feel like when you got a guy like this who has momentum, you need to keep him in the ballgame.
Got Taisi's here to the near side, looking for him. It's got him right in the middle, over to the 45. He makes a break. He cuts back, still on his feet. He spins, he shakes, he bakes, and they finally get Cash Taisi down.
Yeah, another first down, and again, another great pass from Manuela. He's able to get them right as they're making the break, right as they're making a cut. The anticipation from a quarterback is huge. If you don't have anticipation, you're usually throwing it behind your receiver, not giving an opportunity to run downfield like that, and make extra yardage, possibly take it to the house.
We've got first and down at about the 43-yard line. Pona hands off to Afu to the left side. He breaks free. Great run. Now that is the run that we're used to seeing from Prince Afu.
Yeah, Afu able to get downfield. We want to see him run north and south, not east and west, right? A lot of the times he's just been getting stopped in that backfield. But again, like you said, that is the type of run we are used to seeing from Prince.
Brings down a second and short for the Caveman. Got Taisi to the near side. He drops back, he's surveying, he's looking for Taisi, and he is wide open on the 5-yard line and pushed out at the 1-yard line. Great throw by Capone Manuela to Cash Taisi.
Yeah, especially on the roll out there. A nice job to be able to set his feet just slightly. Again, on target. I haven't seen this kid not be accurate so far this evening. Great pass. Now they're going to have the opportunity to hand it off to their bruising back, get it up the middle, get in the end zone, extend the lead here right before the half. Just a fantastic job by Manuela.
Manuela under center, hands right off to Afu. He just keeps turning those feet and picks up a couple of yards. You know, they say, Tucker, if you've got a good horse, you just keep riding it. Brings up 2nd down and goal for the Cavemen.
Yeah, and if I was to give out my helmet sticker to this point of the game, I'm looking at Manuela. The kid's playing out of his mind. If I see him get removed from this game for another quarterback, I might be a little bit upset myself, Brad.
I love this formation that American Fork. 3 backs in the backfield. They'll hand off to Afu, and he'll follow his guys right up the middle for another touchdown for American Fork.
You know, this is the exact type of game that American Fork needs heading into region play. You know, we've talked about what they have facing them coming up, Brad, right? You know, after this game, you're going to have Davis.
With that high octane with Bessinger, that's not going to be easy. No easy task.
Davis, one of the best teams in the state. Lone Peak, again, one of the best teams in the state. They just traveled, had a decent game against Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. Lehigh, again, another matchup issue, right? Yeah. They are extremely well at all positions, very well coached by Andy Hadfield, and Corner Canyon.
The second quarter, the Lancers had 3 offense possessions, 3 punts. Let's see if they can't get some points on the board before the half and get a little bit of momentum going into that locker room. Looks like they've got Gavin Hurst.
And as you mentioned, Hurst is their speedster. See if he can make a play here. Their special teams has been a bright spot for them so far this year. They've had a couple special teams touchdowns, so we'll see if, you know, he can get some good blocking here on this return and maybe set up some good field position for the Lancers.
Got Jet Breswich kicking off for the Caveman. And that ball is in the end zone for a touchback. 1st down and 10 on the 20 for the Layton Lancers.
You know, Brett, what a luxury to have a kicker that can get into the end zone every single time and limit the ability for other teams to try to get a return on them.
Especially when you got somebody in the backfield like Gavin Hurst, right? That
exactly.
has some speed, right? It just takes away all of that threat that he brings. So this is the 4th offensive possession for the Layton Lancers this first half. Let's see if they can get old Nathan Meekum involved a little bit here. Got 3 receivers here to the near side. JP in the backfield. He hands up to JP. He cuts up in the middle and picks up a nice 6 yards on that carry.
Yeah, I'd maybe like to see them get Garlic involved in some sort of screen pass to the outside. Let him use his speed. I think they tried it on one of the earlier possessions, but it was just overthrown. You got to try to get him involved in other ways. He's doing a great job in between the tackles. But, again, the middle linebackers, the outside linebackers for American Fork are some of the best in the state.
Yep. Brings Gavin Hurst to his right side. Will Cox surveys. And there he is, Nate Meekum on that catch, and he picks up, and he's finally brought down, but picks up a 1st down for the Layton Lancers.
Yeah, he did a great job. Meacham, they were ripping at that football, trying to get that thing ripped out of his hands. Great strength, a very nice job to use his back to create more space. A lot of people kind of just go down in those situations, but you still have a lot of leverage, and he's able to pick up that 1st down.
Got DeWitt in motion.
Wildcat.
Looks like a little wildcat formation. He's going to take it up onto the left side. Nice little pickup of about 5
DeWitt runs it up.
for DeWitt.
Yeah, DeWitt, obviously wide receiver kicker. A nice job. Really, I kind of like the mix up there.
Yeah.
Trying to confuse the defense, seeing if they maybe make a mistake as well, right?
Got 2nd 5 for the Lancers. Wilcox drops, surveys, short little out pass. That's in and out of the hands of Condiff.
You know, I think the pressure from the left side, pressure came from, let's see, it was number 55, Matt Palmer, on the left side of that line. He did a good job at kind of getting into the face of Wilcox, and he tried to hurry that pass, and I think that's why it was a little bit more inaccurate here towards the near sideline.
Another guy I'm watching on the American Fork defensive lineup there is number 61, Dallin Afu. He's made a number of big plays in the past few games. Great little out pass, and great open field tackle from the American Fork Cavemen. That is number 7, Derek Manning, with a great open field tackle.
Yeah, Manning, he was in 3/4 defense there. I believe it was a cover 3. So, he came back a little bit, makes it look like it's going to be an open flat for the running back there, but very good job, anticipation, able to get upfield, make the play, and force a, 4th and medium here.
Looks like we've got a timeout on the field.
Let's take a look at more scores, Brad. While we're waiting, again, we appreciate everybody watching us here on KSL Rewind. 1:16 here in the first half, 17-0 for American Fork. They're back on field here, but let's see what's going to happen. They're going to be punting. Pleasant Grove 7, Springville 7, Maple Mountain 0, Payson 7. Murray up 21-0 on Cottonwood, Stansbury 16-0, Green Canyon 21-0, Richfield 7-0. We got a lot of good games here coming up as well.
And Wilkinson calls for a fair catch. It'll be first down for the Cavemen on the 29-yard line.
Brad, what do you think is going to be the most difficult region here in the state this year? Is it going to be American Forks region?
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, you got the number 1, the number 2. I was thinking of those schedule of what American Fork Cavemen still have to play. 3 of their last 4 games, or 4 of the last 4 games are all top 10 teams.
Yeah. You don't see that often.
You don't see that often. I always hear the joke that, Region 3 is the SEC of Utah.
Yeah. I would not disagree. However, I think the Big Ten might be the better conference nowadays.
Great little out pass from Manuela to Prince Afu for a pickup of about 8 yards. We've got 1 minute left in the second quarter. Tucker, you aggressive if you're American Fork Cavemen?
Yeah, I don't see why not. You've been able to throw the ball downfield pretty easily, especially some of those crossing routes. You got receivers, especially like Cash Taisi, who might be one of the best, especially as a sophomore, at running routes downfield. And again, there you go. Another outside pass to another tight end there. That's
Christian
Richards.
Hanshaw. Is that number 8 or number 9?
It looked like, I guess it was number 8, Hanshaw. You are correct, Brad.
But I think the Cavemen in that offense have just throwing those little 7, 8, 9 yard out passes has been really effective here in the first half.
Yeah, and it shows how smart Manuela is as well. Thrown to the sideline to stop the clock. He still has enough timeouts, but great clock management from the young guy.
Oh, and he's got it again right over the middle, and he's going. One guy to beat. And he is brought down at the 1 yard line. That's Christian Hanshaw again.
Yeah, Brad, I don't know how you're going to be able to take Manuel out of the game in the second half.
No,
I know he wants to play both quarterbacks and give them both an opportunity, but the accuracy that I've been seeing from this quarterback so far in this first half is, next to none. I don't think I've seen a quarterback throw the ball this well so far this season.
Yeah, Manuel under direct hands of Afu, and he just goes right up the middle for another touchdown for Prince Afu.
Yeah, Prince Afu now with 2 touchdowns on the day. I think in total now he's got 7 touchdowns on the season. Well over 400 yards rushing. He's obviously their bell cow for this offense, and he's going to be used a lot in this second half. I want to point out something right now, Brad. 23, almost 24-0. This is the same position that they were in last week against Fremont.
Yeah.
What are you expecting coming out in the second half?
Came back and almost tied that game up with about 2-3 minutes left in the game, and that kick was blocked by the American Fork defensive line.
Well, and they were able to stop that 2-point conversion as well.
And we'll stay right here. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half, and the American Fork Cavemen has put on a dominant performance the first half, leading 24-0.
Yeah, I think, the Lancers have to try to do something here. 28 seconds. The only way you can really do much is if you get a good return here. Obviously, every kick's been kicked into the end zone, so you may not have that opportunity. But if you're the Lancers, you're pretty deflated at this point because you had, at least one drive that got to American Fork territory, brought back by penalty, and now you're having issues, being able to get past this defense. That's one thing when I talked to Coach Boehm for American Fork, he was very confident in his defense. He said he would go for it on 4th down at midfield because he was confident in the ability of his defense to make a stop and not allow them to get into the end zone.
Another touchback, keeping Gavin Hurst limited on what he can do coming out of the end zone. All right, we've got 28 seconds left. Your coach, Thomas, what do you do?
You're backed up. You may see a victory formation type of thing. You may see them just try to run the ball, get out of the first half. There's enough time here in this ball game. We've seen issues from American Fork in the second half. They'd be content to let this one run out and go to halftime as Wilcox is just slowly walking himself into that huddle. So that's going to be the first half here for us, man.
That will do it for the first half. We've got American Fork Cavemen 24 and the Layton Lancers nothing. We'll be back for the start of the second half right after these messages.
With a TabSpend checking account, you earn big rewards. It's hard to not make a scene.
Cash or card?
Oh, my card's right here.
That's a big card.
You should see how much it's earned me. Sorry, Grandma. TabSpend isn't just another checking account. It's packed with benefits.
How do I get one?
Just scan this QR code or go to tabbank.com. It's all online and super easy to get started.
To Layton High School, where we'll have the start of the second half. Tucker, take a few minutes and just give us some updates at halftime with the schools here in Utah.
Yeah, one thing that I wanted to point out, Brad, was the fact that Davis, who is the next matchup for American Fork, we don't necessarily like to look ahead. We want to focus on the game at hand. But Davis is up 28-0 on Olympus right now. So what I would like to see from American Fork, to kind of get a little bit more momentum going into that game next week against a very, very talented Davis Darts football team, is to handle business here in the second half.
As we get ready for the second half kickoff. Boy, I got to give credit to the Layton Lancers. Their halftime music has been on point tonight.
Yeah, nice and loud. We apologize if you guys have had issues hearing us here on the broadcast, but you know,
that speaker is just right above us.
No.
We got the fan section to the right. We got the band just down from us. It's great to see so many high school kids out supporting their teams.
But Brad, I don't know about you. I love being in an atmosphere like this. You know, I played high school football myself. There's nothing better than being here on a Friday night, you know, getting close to fall. Weather's absolutely perfect.
Weather's perfect. In fact,
look at this right now. Nothing better.
I can't wait for hoodie season. Whoa. And we've got a kickoff.
Ball fielded inside the 10.
Caveman bring it up on the left side. He breaks free. He's still on his feet all the way to about the 30.
Cavemen.
Gosh, we might have jinxed them by.
Oh, personal foul face mask. So that's actually going to be against the Lancers, Brad.
Oh, and that's costly for the start of the first half. I think we jinxed them, Tucker. We just told them that it had been a pretty clean game, and they come right out and throw a personal foul on us.
Oh, you're right. And it's a team that really cannot have a mistake like that to start this second half. And the Lancers, they need to make sure that they're moving American Fork backwards.
We've got Manuela back in. Hands off to Afu right up the middle for about 4 yards.
And there's another late flag.
Oh, I jinxed us, Tucker.
There is another flag on the field.
You know what? Next game, Brad, we're going to make sure halftime we're going to keep our mouths shut when it comes to, you know, the laundry on the field.
Laundry out on that field. I was mentioning to you at halftime, you know, in that Syracuse Mountain or that Syracuse Rigby game last week, there had to be at least 45 penalties called. And it just, boy, neither team could get any momentum going out there on that field.
Yeah, it looks like Kelly Allred says it's an unsportsmanlike penalty, so 15-yarder is going to, you know, it kind of cancels out the issue that we had with the Lancers right away. So the only issue is now you've got first and like 25 coming up for the Cavemen.
You know, it's interesting. This is the same thing that happened to them last week in the Farmington game. They got 3 straight penalties. They got 2 10-yarders and a 15-yarder out on the field that brought them back, and they ended up making a big play. So let's see what the Cavemen do here. Got 3 wide receivers here to the near side. Manuela surveys. He cuts, he tucks. He cuts up to that left side. He's still on his feet. They get him out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, get a nice job. Play broke down a little bit, made a little bit out of nothing. What I would like to see, though, from Manuela in those situations is to keep his head up. He had number 9, I believe, Richards, right across the middle, who once he saw his quarterback get in trouble, he sat in a zone, and they probably could have gotten a little bit more reasonable third down there. So, you know, some things that on film he can work on going into this next week, but so far he's played an absolutely fantastic game.
We still have 3rd and long for the Cavemen. Afu in the backfield with Capono. He checks over to
spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hand, touching hand, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
So, Brad, I got a question for you, my friend. What are you doing in a situation like this? 3rd and very long. Are you going to try to just get a little bit of it and let your defense do work if you get to midfield, or are you trying to get it all?
Well, I'm probably a little bit more riskier, especially with the weapons that I have on offense. And Manuela's got a lot of time, cuts it up, throws that ball up the middle, and it is incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down for the Cavemen. I guess that answers our question, Tucker.
Yeah, nice job by Nathan Wenzel downfield. Great coverage. Luckily, that ball was overthrown because it could have been intercepted. Richards had some space. If he would have thrown it straight down the seam, that was probably the first inaccurate throw I've seen from Manuel tonight.
Back deep for the Lancers.
And it looks like we've got Preston DeWitt to receive that ball, and they kick it away from him. And he's going to let that ball roll all the way into the end zone. Smart play by Preston DeWitt. To bring up 1st down and 20 for the Lancers.
First down and 10. Yeah.
First down and 10. First 3 possessions of the Lancers, they had to punt.
13-yard line where the Lancers will start their next.
Yeah, we'll see if they can kind of change things up here. I think they need to get Garlick involved a little bit more in the offense. They need to try to throw the ball as well. Use the run to open up the pass. Sometimes, last week I was at the Lehigh game. Andy Hadfield said that he uses the pass to open up the run as well. So there's a few different ways you can go about it.
If I remember right, Coach Thomas told me that Carter Hughes is out this game. We haven't called Carter Hughes' name all day for the Layton offense, and he is a big weapon on that side of the field for the Lancers.
Yeah, you never like to lose your top talent, right? I can't remember if he said he was out for the season or not. I don't know if it's just for a few weeks. But again, losing somebody of that skill and talent is always going to make it a little bit more difficult for you to be able to move the ball downfield on offense.
We've got 2nd down and about 8 for the Lancers. Set up with 3 receivers to the near side. Wilcox drops, throws just a quick little out pass. It's caught by Nathan Minkham for a pickup of a few yards.
Yeah, nice job. Quick out pass, and
3rd and 8 for.
You want to see them get a little bit more depth on some of those routes, right?
Excuse me, they called that an incomplete pass.
Okay, so he dropped it. But again, like on those routes, now it's 3rd and 10. Any receiver that's going out for a pass has to make sure that he's getting to the sticks. There's no reason why you should have any routes coming up that are short of the sticks and don't give you an opportunity to continue to keep this drive alive.
So we've got about 3rd down and 7. Wilcox surveys. He puts that ball up, and it is thrown out of bounds to the sideline, which is going to bring up a 4th down for the Layton Lancers.
Yeah,
Tucker, it doesn't get any easier for these Layton Lancers. Looking ahead for them, their next few games, going back into region play, into Region 1, which is another tough region. They take on the Syracuse Titans, who are just having a phenomenal year this year. Then they go play Weber, then they play the new school Westfield, and then they end the last 2 games with Davis and Farmington, who are just 2 really tough opponents.
Yeah, we've mentioned Davis quite a few times this evening, and that's not a team you want to match up against. The good thing is they're matching up against them towards the end of the season, when they're going to be able to get a little bit more football under their belt, try to make sure that they hone in on some of the things they're good at and get rid of some of the mistakes that they've had early on this year.
Yeah, and Wilkinson calls for another fair catch. Put that ball at the 44-yard line.
While we're waiting here, Brad, Mountain Ridge up 28-0 on Copper Hills. West Jordan 24-7 on Cypress. West 34-0. We've got a lot of games that are blowouts so far this evening, and we have one here tonight as well for the Cavemen.
Manuela hands off to Jensen. He cuts up to that left side, sweeps out, picks up a 1st and more.
Carried by Madden Jensen.
Brad, go ahead.
I'm just wondering, Tucker, you're up 24-0 and you're burning a little bit of clock off, 9:58 left in the 3rd quarter. At what point does Coach Beam turn around and start throwing in some additional players. One, to get them experience, but two, knowing the schedule that's ahead of them to give them a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, you know, in my honest opinion, going into a region play like they are about to in Region 3, I want to give my guys as much play time as possible. You know, I want them to fill, you know, different situations, different down and distances, you know, 2-minute drills, all those types of things. I want my guys that I know are going to be on the field in bigger games to be able to gain that experience on the field.
And just keep practicing and practicing,
exactly.
getting their reps.
Yeah.
That's a nice little carry by Jensen. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Cavemen.
You know, I love the patience they're having offensively, too.
They've got 2 in the backfield. Looks like they're... Manuela throws. He's got... Looks like number 81, Mason Brooks, just a little overthrown. And, well, I'll tell you what, we haven't seen too much of that of Capona Manuela today.
Yeah, Brooks, you know, kind of had a step on his guy. He tried to throw a back shoulder. I think Brooks' route was a little bit too far inside near the hashes. That may actually be a wide receiver issue. I played wide out in high school. What you need to do is make sure that you get that inside leverage and then immediately get to the outside, because that's where you're going to give the quarterback the most opportunity to complete a pass downfield.
We have Richards in motion. Capone's under pressure, and he goes down. That is a sack with a loss of yardage.
Down by Xander Williams.
Nice tackle by Xander Williams.
Yeah, they said Xander Williams. On mine, I have Luke Byers, the linebacker, who came up from the secondary there to make the play. Again, some of these linebackers have such good ability to read the defense, find those creases in those gaps, A-B gaps, and get in and make a play.
And Caveman will pent that ball. That's a nice high kick and a fair caught.
Kick fair caught
by the Lancers.
Start their next drive.
And they'll start their next drive deep in their own territory with 8:07 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Lancers needed here, Brad. They needed to get a stop. You know, American Fork was able to get it on their, into Lancer territory on the other side of the 50-yard line. They were able to stiffen up, get a stop. American Fork did a good job at changing field position here as well. So we're going to see if the Lancers can make something happen. Again, I think they need to start looking downfield, try to make plays, and extend that secondary a little bit.
Got Wilcox in the backfield. Looks like we got Conda and Davies here on the near side. Meekum goes in motion. Sets in the slot position. Wilcox under pressure, and he's going down by the American Fork Cavemen, and that looks like that was number 61, Afu.
Yeah, that's your guy.
Him. Yeah, that's my guy. The last number of games that I've watched him, he has just made some of those big tackles, just getting a lot of pressure on that quarterback.
Again, it's amazing nowadays the size, yet the speed of some of these young athletes. It wasn't something you saw back in, the early to late 2000s. They were a little bit slower, and they didn't have that type of impact on a rush.
We've got Meekum in motion. 2nd down and about 14 for the Lancers. Wilcox surveys. He's got a receiver on the outside. Cut at the 30. He cuts back in. Pass completed for a 1st down and more. And that looks like Nathan Meekum for the Lancers.
Yeah, Meekum, again, a great job. I don't know if you saw that, but he was able to sit
was
down.
That DeWitt?
It looks like the ref kind of went down there. But that was his own coverage. The corner was playing up on the swing route there, and Meekum was able to kind of just sit down into the open spot. Nice job by Wilcox to find him, be able to pick up the first down, turn and have some yards after catch, which is something they haven't had yet to this point of the ball game.
Yeah, and it was talking with Coach Beam before the game. He mentioned really that Farmington offense and their turnovers came really in the fourth quarter. So plenty of time for the Layton Lancers as he throws it out here to Gavin Hurst, and he gets to the midfield.
Ball up to the 50-yard line.
This is exactly what the Lancer needed, a little bit of momentum.
Yeah, again, just try to get it out to your speedsters. Give your guys opportunities to make plays, which is what they're doing here. I love what the offensive play caller's doing for the Lancers. Let's see if, they can continue to attack these corners of American Fork. They have their hands on their hips. They look a little bit tired, so let's see if they can continue this momentum, Brad.
We got 3 receivers out to the far side. Wilcox hands off to Hurst, and there's that speed we were talking about. Picks up about 6 yards on that carry.
Takes the ball up to the 40.
And again, what side of the line was that?
The left side.
The left side.
Left side.
Where that's where they're able to continue to power the ball. You don't want to go against Afu on that right side of the line.
Yeah.
He is a run stopper like nobody else in the state of Utah. So continue to run left, continue to throw to the edges.
Looks like the same formation. Wilcox drops, he surveys. He's got a guy, in and out of the hands. Looks like of Conduff. That's a great throw by Wilcox. Just couldn't bring that ball in.
Yeah, Condiff just a little short on that one. Tried to get up there. He might have been afraid of a hit coming from the safety that was right there, number 4.
He was about ready to put the boom on him.
Yeah.
That's Corbin Bowerly.
Corbin Bowerly, you're right, yeah. That's a scary thing as a wide receiver. Like I said, I played wide receiver, and going across the middle was my least favorite place to go.
Got Condiff in motion to the far side. Wilcox scrambles, looking. He throws that ball all the way down, and it is intercepted by the Caveman. That is number 29, Lincoln Miller.
Yeah, Miller, great pursuit, able to, break off that route, get the interception. A great job, though, by Wilcox, able to escape the pressure, give himself a little bit more time to make a play. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit underthrown, and now, again, American Fork has a little momentum. They're backed up, so essentially, that was almost like a punt.
Yes.
If you're missing some glasses, we have some turned in.
We've got 5:55 left in the third quarter. We've got the Cavemen leading 24-0. Looks like Capona Manuel is still in as the quarterback with Prince Afu to his right side. Takes that snap. He's surveying. He tucks, and down he goes by number 75, Xander Williams, with a great stop.
Yeah, Williams able to get into the backfield, nearly caused a safety there. So a great job and a heady play by Manuela to be able to get a little bit of momentum to get himself outside of the end zone and avoid a safety there.
That's 2 great plays by Xander Williams on the defense. We've got twin receivers to each side. Afu in the backfield. Sends a man in motion. Gets out to Richard. Oh, that's Cash.
Carrier knocked out of
That's our guy Cash.
Yeah,
He
Cash
saved the day.
Taisi.
Cash Taisi.
Yeah, he did a good job. A good play design there, too. They allowed the defensive line to release a little bit, get a little bit of hope that they were going to get back there and make a play. Nice job by Manuela to be able to get that just over the top of the defenders. They're able to get a little bit of breathing room.
A third down for the Cavemen. Tries to get Layton to jump off sides, looks over to his bench to get the call. It's got Cash Taisi here to the near side and 3 receivers to the far side. And he drops. He's looking for Taisi. He tucks and he runs. And Capono is finally brought down. Let's see where they mark him.
Quarterback keeper stops around the.
That's extremely close to a first down. It looks like they're going to move the chains there, Brad.
First down and great heads up by Manuela to sneak out from that backfield. Gives them a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, again, though, I would love to see him keep his head up, maybe look downfield as he's running up towards that, line of scrimmage, just to see if he has any options to be able to dump it off downfield and gain a few more yards.
Yeah, I thought Cash Taisi, I thought that's where he was going. He kind of got bumped about 7-8 yards on the play. Look at that, Rand. Look at the Layton defense trying to bring down Broadbent.
Tackle made by Blue Osmark.
And a flag down. A little bit of extracurricular activity is what I'm guessing there, Tucker.
And the flag has been thrown on the field. Sideline warning called against the Lancers.
We've got a sideline warning called against the Layton Lancers. So we've got 2nd down and 8 for the Cavemen. It's got Richardson, Taisi to the near side. Broadbent in the backfield with Capono. Hands it off to Broadbent. Broadbent cuts up to that left side. Oh, that is a bruising run for Broadbent. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, again, it seems like the strongest part of these offensive lines is the left side for both teams. I don't know if it's the offensive line that's stronger there, or possibly, the defensive line that may be a little bit weaker on that side of the ball. But they've done a fantastic job, both teams, running it to the left side. And I'd like to see Prince Afu, get a handoff here, go straight up the middle, and see if he can pick up the first down.
Yeah, we've got 3rd and short. Got to give it back to Afu. He keeps his legs turning. Looks like he's got enough for the first down. Great 3rd down run by Prince Afu.
Yeah, it only took, 5-6 guys to be able to bring him down, and he was still able to get the momentum to pick up that first down. That's one reason why, the next level is a huge option for Prince Afu, because he is so good at keeping his feet and his momentum moving forward. Again, he doesn't go down with that first hit. He's obviously one of the best running backs in the state of Utah.
Yeah, we had Lincoln Peterson from Lancers kind of run off that field a little bit, hobbled. Hope he gets back into the game. Capono under pressure. He gets out of 1 tackle. He gets out of 2 tackle. He cuts all the way back now to the far side and picks up maybe 1 or 2. And Tucker, that is a lot of running for 1 or 2 yards for Capono.
It is a broken play, obviously a nice job by him, and just the grit and fortitude to be able to, exit some of those tackles, and those are bigger guys that are trying to bring him down, able to, to get out of the grasp and pick up a little where there was honestly nothing to start off that play.
Yeah, number 55, Trey McKinley, that had him wrapped up on that second tackle, and Capono just evades him and then runs all the way over to the other side, which will bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Cavemen.
That reminded me a lot of somebody like Lamar Jackson, right? Just the ability to keep the play alive and give his team options.
Short little out pass to Richards, and he'll pick up about 3 yards on that catch.
Brad, one thing that's not talked about a lot by some of these receivers, and even Taisi, right? Cash does a fantastic job on the outside blocking downfield. For a sophomore wide receiver, the techniques and everything that he has going for him, he's going to be an extremely highly recruited guy throughout the rest of his career here at American Fork. He does everything right.
Yeah, just being a sophomore is incredible. Capono surveys, He tucks, and he is off. Looks like he's going to pick up another first down for the Cavemen.
It's like a flash of lightning when he takes off from that backfield.
I do like his quick decisions that he's making. He's checking down, he's checking his receivers. When he doesn't have that, he's tucking and protecting that ball, and he is off to the races.
There's no negative plays when it comes to Manuela. That's something that a lot of younger quarterbacks and even at every level, they hold on to the ball a little bit too long, and then they're causing sacks or bad plays to happen where they're losing yardage. This is something that is extremely important for this American Fork defense going into region play. The ability to have somebody like this who can make plays when everything's broken down is going to be huge for their success throughout the rest of this football season.
And we'll have first down, looks like on the 41-yard line for the Cavemen. We got Taisi to the near side, Homestead to the far side. And he's looking for Cash here on the near side. And here comes that Layton defense for a big loss for that Layton defense.
Yeah, nice job there. That was
number 11, Cole Helgelson, is one of the three guys on that.
Darius Pomone, number 51, was the first one there. He has a couple sacks on the season now. I mean, half sacks there. You got a host of guys from the Lancers all over Manuela.
Got about 18 seconds and counting left in this third quarter. We'll see if the Cavemen get off another play. And Tucker, you got to wonder what Coach Beam's thinking. Still 24-0 going into the fourth quarter.
I'd be surprised if they ran another play here. Yeah.
And that's going to be the end of the third quarter, where the Caveman still leads the Layton Lancers 24-0. We will be right back here on the KSL Sports Rewind right after these messages. Got Richards in motion. Capono surveys. He's got a guy right up, in and out of the hands of Christian Hanshaw. Great defense by number 25, Luke Byers again for the Layton defense.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a very uncharacteristic drop from Hanshaw. He's a very sure-handed tight end for these guys. Third and extremely long. If I was American Fork, I'm just trying to get a little bit here, maybe kick the ball deep, get a little bit of change of field position, but obviously they've got a lot of guys that can go the distance and pick up this first down as well.
Yeah, and I think the Lancers head coach, Trevor Thomas, he's got to be pleased with the defense. We have seen spurts of just greatness from this defense, but it's the consistency that they're needing. Capono scrambles. He's got Taisi to the outside, and the ball's caught by Cash Taisi for a first down for the Cavemen.
Again, just the awareness of Cash Taisi to know where he is on the field, able to get 2 feet. That's a catch in the NFL. He got 2 feet down and able to move the change for this Caveman offense.
Yeah, they go back to a hurry set offense right out to Richards to the right side, and he picks up about 6 or 7 on that play.
Man, I just got to go back, though. What an absolute weapon for the Cavemen to have a guy like Cash Taisi who you can just throw the ball up to and know that he's going to come down with it.
Just that football IQ
exactly
that he has as such a young player in high school.
Brett, I think you're seeing that a lot more these days. The younger the guys are, the better they are, because they just have so many different things that they can learn from. Nice job.
Taisi goes low to pick that ball, and he scrambles for maybe a couple. Let's see where they set that ball, and it looks like that is another first down for the American Fork Cavemen.
Yeah, Taisi, one of the hardest catches if you're a wide receiver, to catch that right on top of your shoestrings.
First and 10.
Brett, I just can't begin to tell you how excited I am to see a guy like this in the state of Utah who has this sort of talent at the wide receiver position.
Capona rolls to the right side, and he's got number 81, Mason Brooks, for the touchdown for the Cavemen.
Touchdown, American Fork.
You know, what do you think set that up, Brad?
Cash Taisi.
Cash
on the other
Taisi.
side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The decoy of Cash Taisi opens up the ability for all of these other athletes, for the Cavemen, to make plays downfield. We see that with other teams like Lehigh, with Legend Glasgow, you know, the BYU commit. There's so much attention drawn to players like that that it automatically gives opportunities to these other guys on the field who are also extremely, extremely athletic playmakers.
And what a great opportunity, right, for Mason Brooks, who's getting a little bit more playing time because David Dean is not playing today, making the best of that playing time. And we've got 31-0 for American Fork Cavemen with 10:22 left in the fourth quarter here on KSL Sports Rewinds. Caveman's getting ready, set to kick this ball off. Jet Presswich has done most of the kicking duties today for the Cavemen. Looks like we've got, for the Lancers, we've got Preston DeWitt waiting to receive this ball, and the Cavemen have played it smart. They really haven't given the Lancers too many opportunities to carry that ball out on kickoffs or punts.
You know, they have done a fantastic job at securing the football as well. What were their biggest issues last week?
Turnovers
in that second half. They had 3 turnovers that resulted in points. And then, you know, also, I honestly have no idea why there was Christmas music being playing here. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit off my game now.
I might have jinxed this because I said they had such great halftime music.
Yeah.
And we've got Christmas music.
Well, that was in between, you know, a quarter break, so not halftime music, my friend.
All right, 10:22 left in the fourth quarter. Looks like we've got some movement.
Yeah, I think that was a false start on the right guard there,
which will cost the Lancers 5 yards and set them up. First down and 15. Tuckers, we enter into the fourth quarter. Got to keep your mind turning for those Tab helmet sticker player of the games who will be calling out here at the end of this game.
You know, I think I know my winner to this point, but, you know, we'll save it. We'll save it. I'll keep it a secret.
You might jinx that person.
I just want to see somebody from this Lancer team, you know,
Wilcox,
deserving of a helmet sticker as well.
Yeah, Wilcox, just a nice little out pass. He's got DeWitt that picks up a number of yards for the Layton offense.
Yeah, DeWitt's done a pretty good job this evening. Not a lot of yards in total, but he's given his quarterback a place to go with the football. I think they just need to try to extend his routes a little bit more because he has great speed to get downfield.
And 7, ball to 23.
Wilcox drops, he surveys, looks for another little out pass, and just over the hands of Condiff brings up third down for the Lancers.
Yeah, and honestly, Brad, that was extremely close to an interception for Dyson Richards there defensively because of how much that was overthrown. Could have been a disaster for the Lancers and probably a dagger. Had that been picked off, it would have been a return for 6.
Yeah, you know, I talked to Coach Thomas. I said, you know, in watching film, you know, on Wilcox, right, a lot of his passes are really kind of a rainbow pass. There's a lot of air under that ball, which gives the defense a lot of time to adjust on it.
Looks like we got a new quarterback in the game, Brad.
Oh! That ball's in and out of the hands of Conda, and that's a big hit.
Yeah, Bowerly.
For Corbin Bowerly.
Fantastic play on the ball, legal hit. You know, it just And honestly, not a terrible ball, but it looks like they may be switching quarterbacks here to finish this ball game. It was number 5 that was in there.
4th and 7, ball at the 23.
Let me see if I've got that for you. Yeah, Cohen Doan.
Looks like we've got 4th down for the Lancers, and DeWitt has been a busy kicker tonight. Little southpaw, he gets that ball up. A
great kick
for DeWitt, and sends Wilkinson back, and he just says,
DeWitt's
that's all I can do. Great kick by Preston DeWitt from the Layton Lancers.
Down to about the 28.
Great job to change field position there.
Yeah, we'd like to give a shout out to one of our sponsors here on KSL Rewind, Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 3.5% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% cash back on eligible purchase. It is a big deal. Member FDIC. Thank you to Tab Bank. We've got the Cavemen set up, it looks like, on their 28-yard line. 28-yard line with 1st down and 10.
Oh, here goes Prince Afu.
Afu goes off for a run for about, picks up 12. And Tucker, we've got Nate Childs into the ball game now under the quarterback position.
You know, I think that's a good call. Obviously, Manuel has played the best game of his career to this point. And he said he wanted to get both guys involved. You still got 9 minutes. You're going to give him an opportunity to still be able to throw the ball, get into a rhythm, and make sure that just in case something may happen later on down the road, because of how physical the region that they are in, they're going to need 2 quarterbacks that are very capable, and Childs is a very capable quarterback.
The Child rolls out to the right side, and he's got Noah Beam for a completion of a pickup of about 9 yards.
Yeah, again, just as I said, he's a very capable quarterback, has accuracy. I mean, for the season, Childs has got 402 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's been able to find the end zone multiple times. His timing's very, very good with his wide receivers as well, and you can tell that they've been together for quite some time. So we'll see if he can continue to develop that chemistry.
Got Brooks here to the near side. He hands off to Prince. Prince gets up to the right side. Another big gain. Prince picks up another 1st down for the Cavemen.
Prince Afu, maybe by the end of the season, might be King Afu. The guy is unreal.
Right, they stopped him over and over in that first half, and it just looks like he's just getting warmed up.
Yeah.
Finish off this 4th quarter.
It's almost like it's only a matter of time before he starts to figure out his spots, and once he makes that first cut, his ability to get north and south and his speed at his size is unmatched by a lot of other running backs in the state.
Got Caveman 1st down and 10 on their 35. Looks like we've got to delay a game on the Caveman. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Penalty called against American Fork. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
You played this game. I've always wondered, they always check over to the sideline. Do you like that?
What do you mean?
Well, they'll come out. Child will take a look at the defense. Then he'll pause for about 10 seconds, look over to the sideline. He'll get his call in from the bench.
I like it to a degree because sometimes you can catch the defense off guard. If you do it quick enough, if you know your play and you're not actually going to change anything, you can kind of look over to the side, quickly look back, because what the defense does is they look to their side, right? Yeah. So you're trying to maybe catch somebody off guard, and I feel like they've been able to do that quite a few times this evening, especially on passing routes and getting guys open downfield.
2nd down, about 7 for the Cavemen. Child looks short over to the far side, and that ball falls incomplete.
You know, unfortunately, that's just a drop. That was an absolutely perfect ball from Childs to the outside. One of the hardest throws to make, you know, from a hash all the way to the far side of the field. That's such a long distance. He got it there well before the defender was there. It was just a drop pass. And it's going to bring up, you know, a 3rd and long 7 for the Cavemen.
But I'm real impressed with both Manuela and Child. The little that we've saw him tonight, right? Both of these guys throw with a little bit of mustard on that ball.
Yeah, velocity is key. Just making sure that you're getting the ball to the guy so that he can make a play after catch.
A little short pass caught by Wilkinson.
Resulting in a 4th down.
This will bring up a 4th down and 6 for the Cavemen.
You know, and Brad, to your point, like velocity's great, right? You want to have a fastball. Brett Favre was one of the guys that always said that he just threw the ball as hard as possible so that anybody that caught it was like, oh my gosh, that hurt my hands, right? But you're also in some situations going to need to have some touch on a pass. And I believe both of these quarterbacks have the ability to do that as well. So really, American Fork is in a very, very good position in their quarterback room.
Child looks right over the middle. Intended receiver on that was Brayton Carroll. Turnover downs for the Lancers.
Yeah, honestly, Meekum playing both sides of the ball. I know he's tired. You can tell he's gassed as he's walking off the field, but a fantastic play to be able to get in there, you know, have a pass breakup on defense, give his offense an opportunity to, you know, maybe make this game look a little bit more respectable. Try to get some points on the board before the end of this game so that you have some momentum going into region play.
Short little pass completed to J.P. Garlick here on the near side, picks up of about 5 yards, but we've got a little bit of laundry on the field. We'll see what the call is here with the officials.
Let me see. Yeah.
Men on the field called against American Fork.
Boy, and you don't see that call too often. Yeah, Cohen, I was just asking a fan here. I just wanted to make sure we're getting his name right.
Yeah, Cohen Doan.
Cohen Doan. Right, not a bad move for Coach Thomas, right? Wilcox not able to do too much the first 3 quarters. That was a great little throw by Kean, which picks up a 1st down for the Layton Lancers.
Yeah, Doan put some zip on that, fit it into a window there. There wasn't much space for that pass to get through, but a nice job. He was really trying to zip it in there, able to get the 1st down for the Lancers. And you know, still 6 minutes left in this ball game. Again, I really want to see this offense gain a little bit of confidence before they're going into their region play here next week.
And Doan, 6'4", 184 pounds senior. Throws a little quick out here to Hurst. And the American Fork Cavemen are right there to shut that down.
You know, Brad, Doan was a little bit quick to go to his check down here. If he would have checked downfield, he had a guy on a post route that was wide open. If he just takes one more beat and you know, maybe looks to his check down first so that he can maybe take that safety away from his guy a little bit more and then, again, take a deep shot. There's no reason not to at this point in the game.
Yeah. He's got JP in the backfield. Going back to throw again. Intercepted by the American Fork Cavemen. And he is still on his feet, and the Lancers finally bring him down. And we've got a penalty
or is
Flag out on the field.
Yeah, Max Larson in the right place at the right time there. Again, a quarterback coming into a game late in the fourth quarter. It's really hard for them to get into a rhythm.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the feel of what that defense has been doing.
Or the speed of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to take a look at some of these scores, Brad, as we're waiting for American Fork to take the field. Harriman, surprisingly, late in the third quarter, up 33-0 on Bingham. Riverton's got a 23-7 lead on the Cedar Valley Aviators. Copper Hills is down 9-35 to Mountain Ridge. West Jordan's got a pretty heavy lead, 31-7 against Cypress. Granger 46-7 in the fourth quarter on Taylorsville.
Scroll down to that bottom. Give me the Fremont score.
Fremont 63-6 against Clearfield.
Yeah, it's Clearfield.
Orem, another high-scoring matchup as well. Orem's on top, halfway through the third quarter, 56-3 on Spanish Fork. Timpview up 30-7 on Wasatch, and Maple Mountains got a 7-point lead on the Payson Lions. Crimson Cliffs, one of the best teams in the state so far to this season, only a 14-9 lead. And East is down 14-0 to the East Leopards.
And that penalty is going to be a 15-yard penalty on the Lancers, which is going to give the Cavemen just great field position. Short little out.
Tackle made by Ethan Larson.
Out pass here to the near side. That's Braylon Carroll again on the catch. Bring up a second down and about 5.
Yeah, a nice quick release from Childs. That's one thing that I've noticed in the film that I've been able to watch from Childs is he does a very good job at taking his two-step drop, and he knows exactly where he wants to go with the football. So if he continues to do that, he's going to continue to be extremely successful in this offense.
Got Child in the backfield. We got Jensen to his right. He hands off, and Jensen powers up the middle. Feet is still going, and they finally blow it dead for a pickup of a few yards.
Carrier stopped at the 9-yard line.
Brad, with all the talk being, with Prince Afu, he is also a bruising back. They've got a wealth of weapons. If you're an American Fork Cavemen, to be able to just hand the ball off, turn it off, hand it around, throw it to the edges. There's so many different guys that can make plays for this football team, and it's just going to benefit them going into region play.
We've got 3:53 left here in the fourth quarter. A short 3rd down and 1. And Broadbent that was Jensen again, powers his way up that left side for another Caveman first down.
Cole Heckelson in on the hit.
Nice little zone run scheme. The offensive line is now continuing to really control the line of scrimmage, making sure that they're going to be able to just run clock. They're in no hurry at this point.
Yeah, and Coach Beam is throwing in a number of different players. We've got Octavius Luna, number 86 on the far side. I saw that name on the roster, and I'm like, I hope I get a call. His name Octavius tonight. Oh, great little shot to the corner of the end zone. That falls incomplete, just out of the hands of Braylon Carroll, junior wide receiver.
Brad, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily like the fact that they're throwing the ball this late in the quarter. I don't mind it. I'm a firm believer in getting as many points on the board as possible so that you can, impose your will and really these other teams that you're going to be playing against in the next few weeks are going to look at that scoreboard. They're going to see how many points you scored, and that's going to affect the way they view your ball squad.
You got 2nd down and goal. Child rolls out, just throws a quick pass. That is Dyson Richards for the touchdown for the American Fork Cavemen.
A nice job. Child's able to roll out, find his guy. Very well disguised. Richards came all the way from the opposite side of the field. I don't know if you saw that, but he came all the way across, was kind of disguised. That's why the defensive back wasn't able to see him, able to squirt out for that. And then all on top of that, he's able to use his athleticism. I believe he hurdled 1 or 2 guys as he got into that end zone.
Yeah, I love when these offenses use those tight ends. Looks like we've got a new kicker. Lamborn kicks that ball up, and it is good. And that puts our score 38-0 for the American Fork Cavemen. We've got 3:03 left in the fourth quarter here on KSLSports.com. 3:03 left in the fourth quarter here at Layton High School.
Yeah, and we want to take time here, Brad, to thank one of our sponsors, Tab Bank, home of the Tab Spend Rewards checking account with 3.5% annual percentage yield on your account balance and 1% catch back on eligible purchases. But great rewards are just the beginning. Convenient online and mobile banking with no hidden or complex qualification requirements, no minimum opening balance, no account fees. It's a big deal. Member FDIC, Tab Bank, the sponsor of our helmet stickers here tonight, which we will give to you here shortly in about 3 minutes.
Oh, nice run. That's DeWitt. And that is the first time, I believe, Tucker, that they have been able to run that ball out tonight.
It is.
Out of all those kicks tonight.
And I believe it's because they changed kickers.
Well, this will bring up a first down. Looks like they're going to spot this about the 35 yards. We've got 2:42 and counting on this. Really, you just want to come out and make some great plays to finish off the game, maybe just to give you maybe a little bit of momentum going into the next game for the Lancers. Nice little carry up the right side.
Carry by
That's number
Ryan
Mumford, number 26 for the Lancers.
Yeah, obviously right on cue, Brad. You want to have a little bit of momentum. I still want to see Doan maybe throw the ball, especially if this is somebody you're going to have maybe start in your next game. You want to get him comfortable in the passing game as well.
Get him as many reps as possible. He's set in the backfield. He surveys. He's looking to throw that ball. Short little pass and nice little pickup. A gain of about 5.
Cohen Doan's pass completed.
Yeah, and we will have a running clock, Brad. Obviously, up more than 35 points. But again, a great job by Doan. He zipped that ball across the middle. It was a little bit high. He needs to get that ball a little bit lower. Give his receivers a little bit more of an opportunity maybe to catch. And again, yards after catch.
Yeah, and Coach Thomas is going to his bench as well. A lot of new numbers out there on that field. Doan, a lot of time. He looks, he scrambles. He's got a receiver here on the 32. Great little catch by number 18, senior Hayden Gunnarsson. Great little play for the Layton offense.
Yeah, Doan, as he rolled out, I could tell he really wanted to run that football. But I believe number 18, not sure what his name is. I'm not fully aware. But what he did there was he raised his hand. Doan immediately saw that, delivered an excellent pass to the sideline.
Yeah, great IQ for Hayden Gunnarsson. Nice little pass again for another first down. And that's number 29, Taft Mansfield, junior wide receiver.
You know, I like
it. Looks like we've got a timeout from Layton.
They're getting a timeout. They're trying to get their offense the ability to score the ball here. You know, Brad, what I love about this is the fact that they are not giving up, right? There's a bunch of guys out here that may be second stringers that are trying to show their worth to their head coach and say, hey, I deserve playing time next week under the lights in a big-time game. Doan has proven to me that he can throw the football.
He's got a little bit of mustard on that ball, a little bit of zip on that ball. Been real impressed with his throws, minus just the one little interception on it. We've got 50 seconds left, Tucker. It is time we really start thinking about that Tab helmet sticker, player of the game on it. Has your mind changed since we talked last time? I didn't think so. And I think we're probably thinking the same player, and we'll hold that here. That's called a teaser.
Yeah.
Right? That's called a teaser.
Exactly.
We'll hold that here for a few minutes.
Everybody likes a little tease, Brad.
First down and 10. Doan at the backfield. 3 receivers to the right. Drops back He's scrambling. Oh, here comes that defense. And once again, that's number 61, Afu, for the tackle.
Yeah,
the
Afu.
Loss of about 6 yards.
Afu is a handful on that offensive. For any tackle in the state of Utah, there's going to be nobody that can stop him consistently throughout an entire ball game. He's always going to find a way to make an impact as he has here.
With 25 seconds and left and counting in the fourth quarter, looks like Layton might get off another play. Hands it off to number 26. He cuts up to the left side, picks up about 8 yards, and that is senior Ryan Mumford, 5'8", 175 pounds. Nice run.
Yeah, they called another timeout here, Brad. I'm hoping they go for the end zone. You know, I don't want them.
Play. We've got to set it up.
I don't want them to just kick a field goal, take 3 points. I think you go for the marbles here.
All right, well, we've got a minute. Right, Tucker? Give me who your Tab helmet sticker player of the game is for this game.
Well, you know, I like to save these for, you know, the post game, but I'm going to have to give it to Manuela.
Yeah.
Manuela has been, you know, unbelievable behind center. He's made all the right decisions. He's been able to make plays with his feet. You know, like I said earlier, he reminds me the way that he's played a lot of a Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Somebody that makes an impact on a football game in more ways than one. You could be a fantastic pocket passer, but what sets him apart is the fact that he's able to use his feet so that when somebody gets pressure upfield, there's nothing they're going to do to be able to contain him.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. He looked good tonight, and he looked quick, and he looked decisive on his decision-making. Probably, as you mentioned, probably the best game that I've seen him play this year.
Yes, 100%.
We've got 3rd down and 9. Looks like this will be the last plays, and Doan just throws it up at the end. Oh! He had his receiver.
One more opportunity.
One more opportunity. So close to get Layton on the board.
A nice play drawn up there. I believe they sent him out on a wheel route.
Yeah, and that was the intended receiver was Taft Mansfield Jr.
Yeah, Mansfield had nobody within about 10 yards of him. So maybe they run something similar. Again, I would love to see them get in the end zone here, Brad.
I do too. I do too.
It looks like they continue to run the clock because, again, it was a 35-point lead, but it's been fun here tonight, Brad.
Well, that will do it. 4 quarters of action in the books. American Fork Cavemen 38-0. Congratulate Capona Manuela for our Tab helmet sticker player of the game. And listen, it doesn't get easier for both of these teams that we talked. American Fork going up against Davis, which I think is going to be a great game. This will be at American Fork. And then the Layton Lancer goes into that very, very tough Syracuse Titans team this year.
Yeah, Brad, and if you don't mind, I'm going to give out one more helmet sticker.
Give it out. Let's bring it.
I'm giving one more helmet sticker to the entire defensive unit of American Fork. A lot of people don't understand how hard a shutout is to produce in a game like this, so a fantastic job all around by the Caveman defense. They were able to come away with a shutout and a 38-0 victory.
Well, that will do it for us here in Layton High School, where the Cavemen dominated all 4 quarters, takes this win 38-0. I'm Brad Searle. We've got Tucker Bass, and thank you, Vince, up on top with the camera. That will do it for us here tonight on the KSL Sports Rewind Network.